Mouthfeel. What is it? How can I train it? And why is it important when tasting coffee? That's what we're going to cover in this video over here. So what is mouthfeel? Well, mouthfeel is one of the three components that make up taste. And taste is made up of the scent of something, the way your tongue reacts to something, and the way it feels in your mouth. And this last one, this mouthfeel, is what we're going to really focus on in this video. The definition of mouthfeel: the physical sensation in the mouth produced by a particular food or beverage. This Cabernet has a dense, tightly woven mouthfeel with complex, chewy, and velvety tannins. In this example that I give with the definition, dense, light, chewy, and velvety are all physical sensations that your mouth experiences when drinking that liquid. But really though, what qualifies as a physical sensation? I have this list over here that summarizes a lot of different physical sensations and is a good overview of what you can be experiencing in both food and beverages. Now that we know what mouthfeel is, let me show you how you can train mouthfeel with these quick tasting examples. Let's talk about water. If you don't know if your water is good or bad for coffee brewing, I recommend just getting a bottle of distilled water, like one of these, and using it for these experiments. It would be really bad if your water is either really metallic or acidic or has some weird compounds in it that makes it taste weird, because that would just ruin the whole experiment. And one of these, it's a couple of bucks. We will be boiling the water and using hot water in these experiments so it replicates the taste and feel of a hot cup of coffee as closely as possible. In this experiment, we're doing 50 grams of water and 1 gram increments of lemon juice. Keep tasting and increase the increments of lemon juice as you go. The first increment of lemon juice will probably feel pretty pleasant in acidity, but as you go further and you add more lemon juice into the mixture with the increments, the harshness and irritation and intensity will be there that is just overpowering the liquid. And these mouth-puckering sour notes is what you should be looking for in coffee to pinpoint and identify if a cup of coffee is under-extracted. In this mixture, mix 50 grams of water and 5 grams of half and half milk, which is 18%. Keep on doing this in 5 gram increments. You will notice that it is dense, it's heavier, it's coating your mouth in a very fatty way, and it's viscous, juicy, and it has this slipperiness to it. And compare the liquids to the baseline of a hot cup of water. So now that we're halfway through the liquids, this is a trick that I've learned from one of my viewers. Try chewing the liquid. What happens is that the liquid in your mouth will then cover and coat the crevices in your mouth, making it so that you experience that liquid even more. The next one is to steep a black tea for the recommended amount of time, then pour out half of that liquid, which is ideally steeped, and then let the remaining amount of liquid steep for around 15 extra minutes. When you drink the tea that has been ideally steeped, you will have a mouthfeel that is silky smooth, and it will have a delicate viscosity to it. Now, if you compare that to the tea that has been steeping for over 15 minutes, that tea will be dry, harsh, and feel really raspy on your tongue. This intense drying and raspy mouthfeel is what you should be looking for if you want to pinpoint and identify a over-extracted cup of coffee. In this experiment, do 50 grams of water and 1 gram increments of oil. I am using olive oil in this experiment. Keep adding 1 gram increments of oil. You will notice that the oiliness will have a mouth coating feel that is slippery and smooth, and it will stay in your mouth for a long time. This is a prominent quality in coffees that are brewed with metal filters because a lot of those oils get through the filter and into the final cup of coffee. In this one, we'll be using 50 grams of water and 0.1 grams of table salt. It's pretty much just a pinch of salt. Keep adding additional 0.1 gram increments of table salt. You will notice that the salt has given the liquid a bit more of a round mouthfeel that coats your mouth really nicely. It also has some savory qualities and also stimulates a lot of saliva production, which is very similar to a juicy and full-bodied mouthfeel. As you keep training your taste buds, you will start recognizing the differences between the baseline, which is a cup of hot water, and these mixtures that we're creating. And that difference is the mouthfeel quality we're looking for so that we can pinpoint it and find it in our future cups of coffee. Over time, you'll be able to pinpoint these physical sensations in your mouth that create mouthfeel in not only the coffee you drink, but also the food that you eat. So constantly be aware of the different mouthfeels that you experience as you eat and drink things in your day-to-day life. Have any questions about taste or mouthfeel? Feel free to post those down below. And if you haven't seen the first video on tasting that I made, the basics of coffee tasting, check that out right over here because it covers taste in a more general sense and not so specific like this video over here that only focuses on mouthfeel. I'll see you there.